For over half a century, this single photograph has stood as the ultimate symbol of a cultural monolith, four musical icons walking in absolute lockstep. The reality of that morning in August 1969 was highly restricted. Freelance photographer Ian McMillan stood on a stepladder in the middle of a London street, given 10 minutes to snap just 6 frames while a police officer held up local traffic. But the figures in this newly leaked high-angle footage aren't the Beatles. Dressed entirely in replica commie nutter suits and perfect period denim, they are simply actors staging a highly precise modern illusion. This set footage provides our first concrete look into what Sony Pictures is currently producing, with director Sam Mendes, a sprawling, multi-film cinematic event. Traditional music biopics often struggle with the mechanics of compression. Attempting to fit a decade of global mania and 4 distinct creative arcs into a standard 2-hour runtime frequently forces a simplified version of events. Reconciling these 4 distinct creative paths actually requires an expanded canvas, one that can account for 4 entirely separate lives simultaneously. Sam Mendes is bypassing this single film approach. He is directing 4 separate feature films, shooting them simultaneously over the course of a year. The project relies on a central structural device. Each of the 4 movies will cover the same chronological story, but told entirely from the point of view of one individual band member. Looking at the leaked footage, Harris Dickinson leads in Lennon's white suit. At the back, Barry Keoghan wears Ringo's dark tailoring. Mescal steps into the McCartney role, complete with bare feet and cigarette, and Joseph Quinn portrays George Harrison in full denim. Replicating these granular wardrobe and posture details in a passing street shot shows a rigorous commitment to authenticity that must remain consistent across all 4 overlapping scripts. A structure this ambitious hits an immediate legal wall without total studio access to the music and the personal histories. For the first time, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, the estates of John Lennon and George Harrison, and Apple Corps have officially granted full life rights and musical catalog access for a scripted theatrical release. Splitting the narrative into 4 tracks means populating the world with the specific people who shaped each individual's reality. The production has cast the partners who defined their private lives, bringing in Saoirse Ronan to play Linda McCartney and Anna Sawai as Yoko Ono. It also builds out the broader scaffolding of the group, with James Norton playing manager Brian Epstein, alongside figures like producer George Martin. This level of legal cooperation and the scale of the ensemble allows the production to populate the band's inner circle with a degree of specificity previously unavailable to scripted features. With principal photography spanning a full year, the target release window is set for April 2028. The studio is positioning this quadrilogy to operate like television, aiming for what Mendes describes as cinema's first bingeable theatrical experience. This calendar illustrates the logistical dilemma Sony currently faces, releasing all 4 big-budget films simultaneously on the same weekend, or staggering them weekly across a single month. Either strategy tests the limits of modern cinema attendance. The studio is betting that audiences will pay for 4 separate tickets in 4 weeks to watch variations of the same timeline. This rollout creates a direct comparison, establishing a real-time test of which individual Beatles perspective commands the highest box office draw. By taking the ultimate symbol of the band walking in lockstep and breaking it into 4 tracks, the project challenges us to look past the unified front and understand exactly where each man was headed.